I'm a dude, and I'm inviting you to join me on a podcast about brews.
Does that include stouts?
Yes, of course it includes stouts. Like I was saying, join us every Saturday on the journey into...
Wait a minute. Do you guys do anything about like IPAs?
Yes,
Stuff like that?
Yes, we do IPAs.
Okay.
Yes. Anyway, join us on the Journey into Comics Network for Brews with Dudes.
Whoa, hey, have you guys ever... Do you care if I bring some Zima on?
Yes, I care if you bring Zima. Zima doesn't count. Zima's... Dr. Dongo. Anyway, join us every Saturday for a podcast that delves into the craft brew world.
The following
Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
It's a journey into comics.
Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
Journey into Comics.
Network Production.
Yes, it all started out as a mild curiosity in the junkyard. Now it's turned out to be quite a great spirited adventure.
People assume that time is a strict progression of cause to effect, but actually, from a non-linear, non-subjective viewpoint, it's more like a big ball of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff.
You're calling the butler. I'm very partial to tea and muffins.
What's wrong with being childish? I like being childish.
Before I go, I just want to tell you were fantastic.
Never trust a hug. It's just a way to hide your face.
That's the exciting thing. Nobody in the universe can do what we're doing.
Why are you pointing your screwdrivers like that? They're scientific instruments, not water pistols.
GallifRadio! Yes, this must be where I live.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 2 of GallifRadio. I'm your host, Nate. Today joining me are my companions. Lauren, welcome.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
Glad to have you back again.
Yeah.
Welcome back inside of our TARDIS, I guess you would say. Also joining us, Veronica. How's it going?
I'm good.
Did
I'm
I
happy
get
to be here. Lauren gets me. She's just so funny. She's just so like, yep, I'm here. I'm great. Let's fucking do it.
Awesome. Sarah, also joining us. Welcome back to the fold.
Hey.
How's it going?
It's all right.
Good. Here to talk some Doctor Who today.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a lot of stuff to do today, actually.
We've been diving deep into Doctor Who, so we've got a lot to talk about today.
Okay, so I'm going to start this one off kind of with a question. I'm going to field it to you guys. We'll jump around. I'll probably start with Veronica first, just because, whatever. I'm going to do a who's who, and I want to know, what was the first Doctor Who episode you remember seeing? Maybe not necessarily in chronological order.
My very first experience with Doctor Who, or like my first full episode that I watched?
Like the first time you sat down and watched an episode, even if you had no idea what the hell was going on.
Okay, well, I guess this is like a two-part.
Sure, please, yes, bring it.
There's a lot of those in Doctor Who's. It's lots of two parts. Okay, so my friend Jen was obsessed with David Tennant, and I watched the episode. I watched it in bits and pieces, like it was on her TV, and it was my first, like, ever seeing Doctor Who, and it was the episode with the cat people in the future, like the cat nurses in the face of Bo. Remember that one? Yeah. What was that one called?
Is that
New Earth.
New Earth.
Yeah. New Earth, yeah.
We were just talking about that one before we started today.
That was my first foray into Doctor Who.
That's a weird one.
It was super weird, and I was like, ooh, this is intriguing. And then we watched, like, another time I was over there, I kind of forgot about it after, because I didn't have TV or whatever. So, my first, like, full episode of Doctor Who was the very first episode of Christopher Eccleston's season with Rose. And it was with you guys. Mm-hmm. And that was my first time watching, like, a full episode and, like, seeing it in its entirety. And I loved it. And we watched it again today.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about that a lot today, too.
It was so fun watching that again today, by the way, just because it's been so long since I've seen that first episode, and it hit me right in the feels, and now I just miss Rose.
Mm-hmm. Lauren, what about you?
My first ever episode was the cat. It was the New Earth episode.
Whoa, weird.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Interesting. No Timey-wimey.
Intriguing.
Stuff. So what was that like? Did you just like happen to put it on? Was it on TV and you saw it?
I think at that time it was on Netflix.
Oh, sweet, yeah. Netflix had, I believe, like they actually at that time had all of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
They had the few new seasons at the time. I think it was like the first 4 or so, maybe 5, and then they had all of the classic Who. I remember that.
I never watched Classic Who.
Oh, it's so good. We're going to be also discussing that today.
Yeah, actually, let me take this opportunity, if you don't mind, to tell you that I have an assignment for you.
Okay.
As part of a GallifRadio new segment. What did I call it? I wrote it down.
Time Tripping with Lauren.
Time Tripping with Lauren. I want you to rewatch, or I want you to watch some of the classic vintage Doctor Who episodes and report back and tell us what you think.
Honest opinions.
Because I really think that you're gonna dig it, and
Okay.
I want to know what you think. So this is your assignment.
Like starting with which Doctor?
Anywhere. That's the beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, and we're going to be, we have a segment planned later today that we're going to be doing.
I thought you guys said like last time that you guys wanted me to start with like the 4th Doctor.
4th Doctor's a good spot to start because he's like maybe one of the most popular classic Doctors. But honestly, it's all about the 3rd Doctor. He's the best place to start, in my opinion. He's just enough of like he's the best of Doctor Who because well, we'll get into this.
Let's talk about that later.
So back to the first time you saw Doctor Who. Before we move on to you guys, was there anything that stood out? I know you said that you were like, whoa, this show's weird and intriguing. Obviously, probably the same sentiment considering they were cat people and people in pods. They were like diseased. That was crazy.
It was such a weird episode.
Trippy.
It's one of the weirder ones, and it's one of the most memorable ones, I think.
And it has a callback to Cassandra.
Right.
Cassandra.
Right. That's why I thought that was a really weird
Wasn't
place
she
to
wasn't
start.
she in the second ever episode of Doctor
Yeah,
Who?
the second one.
The last human, Cassandra.
Yeah.
Yeah, the end of the world is the episode 2 from that.
We debated watching that today, but we didn't.
Okay. I was just checking my mic. You guys are looking at me. Don't worry about it. Just keep talking.
Sarah.
Yeah, Sarah, what about you?
What was your first episode you ever watched of Doctor Who? What episode was it?
It was Rose, the first one, with Christopher Eccleston.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I had my boss at work was really into it, and she made me watch it with her. And we watched like 4 episodes, and then I had to leave and go do other stuff or whatever. And she let me borrow her burned DVD of all the rest of it. Because she had just gotten up
This was pre-BBC America,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, this was like, well, we talked about that our last episode, I do believe.
Absolutely.
This is similar. But yeah, that was my first episode, and then I was hooked, and I've been watching it since the end of season 2.
Yeah, I knew in that first episode when Rose was being attacked by a plastic mannequin arm, and it was just like on her face. I was just like, oh my god, and I love this show.
So low budget and so British, and I loved it.
Yeah, and they did.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Yeah, I loved it.
They worked with what they had for sure. My first episode was definitely a weird one. Human Nature. It's in the middle of season 3 of
that is very weird.
Doctor Who with Tennant. And it's the episode where he's John Smith. He's not even the
Oh,
doctor.
yeah. Oh, that's a weird episode to come in on.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That would be confusing.
It was actually at her apartment. I'm watching it, and I'm just like, what is this show? And it didn't really make sense, and I was like not quite sure if I was going to be into Doctor Who, you know? And then I came back the next week and watched the second part of that, which is the Family of Blood part of that 2-parter. And at the end, the Doctor has this fantastically epic speech, and like then the brother from the Family of Blood has this counter monologue talking about how the Doctor like was being kind by banishing him to the fields of Scotland and putting his sister in a mirror, every mirror. If you've ever seen something in the corner of your eye, it's her.
Yeah,
like, dark. Tied her mother to the heart of the dying star or something like epic. And I was like, this show's fucking radical. Like, I'm sold. Let's watch more. And then that's when I went on and decided to binge, which we did cover last week. But to speak, and we're just going to kind of shift here because you guys all had similar experience.
Yeah.
Rose. It's like really one of the first 2 you guys watched. So we're going to talk about all of season 1 with the 9th Doctor. We're going to like talk about our favorite moments with the 9th Doctor, things you remember. Yeah, exactly. A fantastic retrospective with the 9th Doctor, right?
Aww, I loved hearing him say fantastic again today in that first episode we watched. And he was so Like, just, he was filled with glee. That's what I loved
Yeah.
about his version of the Doctor. He was always just, like, so, like, excited and, like, ooh.
Yeah.
Like, what a little stinker.
Holding Mickey's severed plastic head.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, my God. It was such a weird
he was
episode.
very pleased about that. Yeah.
I feel like we could have a whole conversation about Mickey.
Looking back at that series 1, though, there are so many different things that stick out. You think about Dalek, the episode where they reintroduced Daleks in this series, choosing to go that route instead of the Cyberman route, which means that Eccleston never faced the Cyberman, not once. You saw the Cyberman's head.
Yeah, but the Daleks are worse than the Cybermen. I mean,
Arguably, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they are definitely more maniacal.
Yeah, they're more hell-bent on destruction,
Yeah.
I think.
And of course, those
the Cybermen are honestly, they're just more concerned about like they're just upgrading them.
Yep, they want to upgrade everything and everybody.
They don't want to necessarily just like obliterate humans. They just want to make them all like them.
Better.
Yeah.
Remove the pain and emotion.
Yeah.
Right, but also like they don't. It's like just humans, you know. Like Daleks want to destroy everything. They want to
That's
like
true.
wipe out existence, you know. Like that's a totally
like-
different, chaotic sort of thing.
And that'll be a season 2 thing we talk about when we get there with the 10th Doctor, because there's a really great interaction between Daleks and Cybermen. But to come back to 9. Empty Child Dr. Dances stands out as like a great, amazing 2-parter from this series. Jack Harkness being a part of that with Rose right after they picked Jack up in the London Blitz, that's when they picked Jack up at the London Blitz, is the Empty Child Dr. Dances episode that introduces Captain Jack Harkness.
Yeah, first time you've seen it.
I wish I would have had more time to like rewatch this season before we talked about it, just because I feel like I'm forgetting so many things, and as you're like talking, I'm remembering it, and I'm just like, oh my God, there's just so much to talk about.
I mean, I could quickly run down, like, there's the Slovene in that season. You know, the big giant Slovene, and there's the Gelf. That was a weird episode, like the Unquiet Dead episode. Which is actually where Gwen from Torchwood first debuted, was in that episode of Doctor Who.
What episode?
The Unquiet Dead. It was episode 3 of the first season.
Yeah, but she wasn't playing the same.
Correct.
She was playing kind of like.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Like a different. It wasn't Gwen. Her name is still Gwen, though, I think, right? But she's like an ancient version because it's set in the 1800s.
Didn't they play it off as an ancestor?
Exactly.
Yeah, they played it off as like a very
Convenient.
Yeah.
A very distant ancestor. And that's almost a tangent we would at some point maybe have to touch on today. You've been catching up on Torchwood.
Yes, I'm really digging Torchwood. We haven't finished it yet, though. How far deep are we into it? Not that we only watched.
You're almost done with season 1.
We're like halfway through season 1.
Well, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I can't wait to finish it. I thought it was more not, I don't want to say important, but pertinent to finish watching the Peter Capaldi's first season as Doctor Who, so that way we could talk about it on this podcast at some point.
Yeah.
I didn't really like his first season.
Yeah. Well, we're definitely
We're going to
get
talk
there.
about that today because I just finished watching it and it's like super fresh.
Absolutely. And there's a lot to talk about. These cats, get out of here, kitty. Trying to do a podcast, not talk about kitties, talk about Doctor Who.
So we're going to talk about the first and second episodes.
Oh, no.
First and second seasons.
I just want to talk about the first season with Eccleston.
Okay.
Just like a
Exclusively.
Ninth
Just
Doctor retrospective.
Looking at what he did, his time
Because he
there.
was only there for one season.
Well, they weren't sure if the show would continue on. Maybe it wasn't going to get picked up for season 2, so they were leaving it as the cliffhanger, and maybe David Tennant would get picked up. Obviously, they decide that they want to move on. They pick it up for season 2, and it gains steam.
And he doesn't do anything affiliated with Doctor Who anymore, does he?
No, he feels like he was typecast as soon as he took that role. Like, now only ever will he be the Doctor. He can't be anything else, and he feels like it ruined his career, which is totally the wrong way to look at it.
Yeah.
Backwards. But it's weird because 9, Christopher Eccleston, just at a con this week, ran into Matt Smith It was the first time they ever met each other, and they got it on film. Like, they shook hands and stuff and exchanged some private words. Who knows?
Christopher Eccleston and Matt Smith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they like met in a hallway for like 0.2 of a second.
I wish that he would have been a part of the Big
50th,
Doctor. Yeah, the
50th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we all.
I really wish he would have been a part of that.
I don't know. Are they going to do anything special for the 55th?
I don't think so. It'll just coincidentally be like, and we'll discuss this too, but it'll be pretty deep into Jodie Whittaker's first season at that point. Mm-hmm. So we'll be covering a lot of that. So I don't think they're really going to like, I don't know if sabotages it, but like overhype that the 55th is happening for it just to be like a regular episode of Jodie Whittaker's season. But who knows? I mean, there's a lot of...
Maybe they'll just wait until like the 60th to do something.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
That would be the smart
Because I haven't heard anything about anything special being planned about it, because that's going to be coming up in November, right?
Yeah, November 23rd.
Something like that.
I think our like 8th episode will drop on that day, if the calendar works out right, how we typically do.
I would love to see Christopher Eccleston somehow come back in that, like just all the most recent Doctors.
Yeah, that'd be magnificent.
Yeah.
David Tennant.
Duh.
And Matt Smith.
Yes, I have time for that.
There's a lot of remaining Doctors alive. I think 4 through current is alive except for the War Doctor, because John Hurt did pass away.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah.
But Doctor is, what's his name? Pertwee?
John Pertwee dead.
Yeah.
He's dead. Pertwee.
Can we take a minute to
Pertwee.
talk about that?
Oh well. Oh, what we were. I've always said that Sean Pertwee, John Pertwee's son, who plays Alfred on Gotham, should have been the Doctor.
Yes.
I don't know why that wasn't a thing.
That
Because he would have
really
made
needs
a
to be a
really
thing.
great Doctor.
I feel like somebody needs to start a petition for that, after seeing as Gotham is going to be coming to a close, depending on how long the current Doctor, ends up staying on the show. He might be free soon.
But I mean, also you could have him come back and literally play his dad.
Yeah, they look very similar.
But then you could just do third Doctor stories.
Yeah.
With modern Doctors and have 3 Doctors, 5 Doctors.
That would be cool.
I'd be in on it.
There's
I'd
so
totally
many. I don't
have
know
time
if
for
you've
that.
seen any of the multiple Doctor episodes of Doctor Who ever, but there's there's the.
I'm sure she has.
Well, there was the special. It was like a Blue Peter special with the 10th Doctor and the 5th Doctor. And the 5th Doctor ends up on the TARDIS, stuck, trapped, and doesn't know what's going on. And he's like, I don't think I'm supposed to be seeing this. And 10's like, don't worry. Mm-hmm. By the time we separate, you won't even remember this happened. It'll be like a dream.
Wait, this is a what?
It's like a Blue Peter special. It's something they do every year in the UK to celebrate Doctor Who with this award ceremony that goes on. So they put this little... It's called Time Crash. That's what it's called. Because their 2 TARDISes crash in time, and that's how he gets stuck in there. So that's pretty interesting, and it's on one of the Blu-ray special editions of Doctor Who. I think it's the 5th. It's the final season of Tenet where it was the 5 specials is when that's included. And then they did the 3 Doctors, which was with 1, 2, and 3, but it was really just 2 and 3, and 1 just made a cameo appearance. And they did the 5 Doctors. They've done a lot of different multiple Doctor crossover type things.
Well, I want one with Christopher Eccleston in it.
Christopher Eccleston and Jodie Whittaker on screen together would be very interesting.
That would make me so happy.
Yeah.
Holy
it would be
shit.
A really awesome dynamic. I think that one thing to talk about, if we're talking about the 9th Doctor and his tenure as the Doctor, would be that he picked up some pretty memorable companions along the way. I mean, obviously Rose Tyler.
He had the best companion, arguably the best companion.
Mickey Smith. Jackie.
Mickey was such a joke.
Mickey.
Martha.
Not in the end.
Well,
Mickey.
not Martha, because that would have been 10's companion.
Yeah, Martha was with David Tennant.
But with 9, you think Father's Day is an amazing episode.
Oh, we're still talking about 9.
Oh yeah, we got to keep working on this because we actually have fan questions about. I have a fan question
about that season.
Specifically. Okay. Let me pull it up.
Well, let's take this opportunity to talk about Mickey for just a second. I just wanted to say, the first time I watched that season of Doctor Who, I was so annoyed with Mickey. I was just like, girl, you better get on that TARDIS. And she did, But looking back now, I'm older, a little more wise. I'm a little wiser, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I was watching it, and he's just holding on to her for dear life. And I was just like, oh, bless. He's so precious.
He has the best scared face. He just looks terrified. Just
if you think about like
a scared puppy.
Like yesterday, I was watching Peter Capaldi's first season as Doctor Who, and then today I watched Christopher Eccleston's first episode of Doctor Who. So it's really interesting to look at the companion's story and how it's evolved in that later season compared to the very first ones, and they're so like young and like juvenile and just like, I don't know. I feel like this Doctor Who I'm watching now is more for me because I'm an adult, and it's more relevant to me, I suppose. But, this first season was really fun.
Yeah. Well, the Doctor is hundreds of years older.
True.
Sarah, I'll ask you this question first. This comes from Michelle Olson. Our friend Michelle sent this one in. She asks, what was your favorite thing about the Ninth Doctor and your least favorite? So everybody else think about that answer, and we'll start with Sarah.
Like quality?
Just
thing about him? Just
personality-wise
or memorable thing, or,
Got it.
What did you like the most and what did you like the least?
Well, it's hard for me to think about what I like the least about him.
Okay. We'll then start with the most.
Well, what I like the most is how pleased he gets at things that are just ridiculous. Like, I think I don't know.
Bananas are good?
Yeah, and he is quite, I guess, well, he's not as fiery as David Tennant, but that's what I like the most about him, is he's just, like, quirky, I guess, like that.
He's kind of like a big goofball.
Yeah, he's very much like...
He's a stinker.
Yeah.
And then the ears, wasn't that the thing? Like the ears?
Yeah.
Big old flopping ears.
Oh, look at the ears, Yeah, he looks in the mirror and he's like messing with them.
I have a question
Sure.
about that. We watched that today, and where he first saw himself in the mirror and commented about his ears.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just a little confused. He had just regenerated into that body?
No, it's unknown.
Okay.
Like, I'm pretty sure unknown when, but he had regenerated fairly recently before.
Okay. Because that dude, the conspiracy theorist that Rose Tyler went to go visit to find out who Doctor Who really is.
Clive,
yeah, R.I.P. So she went to see him, and he was showing her pictures with Christopher Eccleston's face, like, obviously, very obviously superimposed into, like, historical pictures and stuff. So he must have been going on some time-traveling adventures for a little while before he met Rose. But I'm just confused as to why he would even, like, has he just not looked in a mirror for a while?
I think that's
to realize that he's regenerated?
Well, no, he knows he regenerated.
Well, yeah.
And we don't see that until the 50th, right? When War Doctor goes, hope it's something less inconspicuous, or something more inconspicuous. Take a bit off the ears or something, and then of course he gets bigger ears. But the thing with that is like it's possible that he regenerated and just got to work. Like, I got to keep my mind off of what I just did, or what I can remember from what I just did, because Gallifrey is gone and the Time War is over, and blah 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 blah. And so he maybe kept busy. But I think that's a missed opportunity in the lore of Russell T rebooting the series. That should have been other doctors in those pictures. He should have picked certain other doctors to pepper in. It should not have always been Nine's face. Right. I think that is one thing that is a sorely, just, it's poorly done.
I just think that maybe that was like a boo-boo.
Yes. I think so too.
Yeah, well, they didn't really know when they rebooted the series how it was going to do. That was a total
creatively,
gamble.
Don't you think that obviously it would have been cooler if there would have been previous doctors to kind of tie it in?
Face should not have been superimposed on those pictures.
I mean, I wouldn't have done it because you know what I'm saying. Like,
maybe if they re-release it as a box set, they can.
Well, they've released it as box set several times over at this point.
I mean, is it like a full collection?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't have that.
Anyways, overall, the first series 1 of Doctor Who with Eccleston really sets the tone, and it gives you everything. You get the TARDIS. You understand why the TARDIS works, how it works. It's a living organism. What the Doctor's about. How he's tries to be non-combative and not use guns. No violence. Strong moral character, but is he a good man? And that's kind of the question that keeps getting asked throughout. You end up getting to see Daleks, a major monster from its history. you also get to see a regeneration at the end of the season. So it kind of gives you
everything you need.
Here's Doctor Who in a nutshell. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And I think people took it.
Well, obviously.
I mean, I believe we enjoy the show quite a bit, right? Only a little bit.
It's a worldwide phenomenon, and also the longest running sci-fi TV show ever.
True. Veronica, what about you? What do you think? Favorite thing and least favorite thing about the ninth?
I'm gonna agree with Sarah. I really like how quirky he is and how pleased he is in situations where he shouldn't be pleased. Like, he should be like, oh my God, or mortified, and he's just like gleefully smiling like, ooh, what's gonna happen? Yeah. I like that. He made it really fun.
He just like lives on the edge of danger without meaning to live on the edge of danger.
Yeah, but it doesn't ever really feel like super life and death with him, just because he's always so playful and shy.
Totally.
Playful about it.
Lauren, what about you?
What about me?
Yeah, what's your favorite thing about the Ninth Doctor?
He was just such a goofball.
Yeah,
he was just like such like a dorky looking guy.
I loved his leather jacket.
Dorky trying to look cool.
Yeah, with the leather jacket.
The leather jacket, absolutely. Yeah. Good use of the sonic screwdriver throughout.
Especially because I'd seen him in 28 Days Later.
Oh.
Yeah, and he did not play like this big dorky guy. He played like this like
kind of scary dude, right?
Yeah.
He plays a really good villain. He was
Did that affect how you perceived him as the Doctor?
Kind of a little bit.
Did it make you like him more or less?
I don't know, because I really liked him in that role. Like, I still thought he did like a really good job, even though he was such like an
awful character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes two different. It's almost like he like kind of had to like turn a switch.
So that's a testament to his acting ability.
Yeah,
totally. He played Destro in G.I. Joe as well. He was a villain again.
I didn't see that movie.
It was not very good, but he was all right as a villain in that.
Although I don't know if in 28 Days Later he had the same. Did he have the same accent as he does in Doctor Who?
No idea. I have not seen that movie in so long.
I think I actually just sold my copy of it to my local disc replay.
Oh, nice.
So I wouldn't remember. I don't know.
I had that movie when I lived in Seattle, but I had to buy it on Amazon Video because my mom's boyfriend threw it out when we were moving.
Rude.
Rude.
Yeah.
For me, I'm going to tackle it. Least favorite thing about the Ninth Doctor. He only went one season. That's my least favorite thing about it. I would have loved to have seen that go 2 seasons. I would have loved to have seen him and Rose in the same scenario that her and Tennant was.
I know.
But just a little bit different, because the dynamic was just a little bit different. Yeah. It would have been so personal, the Doctor. And it was already personal, obviously. And we'll get there. But
yeah, I have to say, I was disappointed at the end of the first season of Doctor Who that I watched, because he regenerated into David Tennant. And I was like...
But if we wouldn't have gotten David Tennant when we did, we wouldn't have gotten 10 with, or we wouldn't have gotten the Doctor. We wouldn't have gotten 10 with Rose at all.
That's true.
I know.
Because Rose was only going to stay on for the next season. So if Christopher Eccleston would have stayed, we never would have gotten to see Rose and 10. And Rose and 10's chemistry is so much different than Rose and 9's.
It was.
It totally set like a new level for Doctor Who companions.
And
I just wasn't ready for the change, because like I just settled into it, and I hadn't seen Doctor Who before. I didn't realize that the Doctor was going to be recast. You know, I mean, when I watched it with you guys, I did, because this was. But like, I was disappointed emotionally.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I didn't know anything about that show when I started watching, other than that it was a sci-fi show.
I would have liked more Christopher Eccleston, as Doctor Who. But I agree. Yeah. I feel like Rose's chemistry with David Tennant was definitely more romantic. I know Sarah and I were talking about the whole romance issue of Doctor Who earlier today. Like, we were watching. What did you put on? What was it? The Autons?
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that in our Classic Cut segment, The Terror of the Autons.
Yeah.
And that's a Third Doctor serial from Season 8, the original Season 8, not the new Season 8. And we'll get to it eventually, but parallels the first episode of Rose, because Autons obviously are the big bad in Rose, as is in this thing. Totally different dynamic, though. There's some similarities they keep from the classics, but this is the Doctor literally getting a B-level villain first to just go, here's what Doctor Who's going to be about. He's going to be saving the world from these kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So, with the retrospective, obviously, we actually answered another person's question on this thing already. Because AP said if we could bring any other Doctors from previous seasons and series back and utilize them for modern stuff, what would we do? And we answered that. So, V, you recently finished season 8 of New Who. What do you think?
Okay.
Well, did you have more to say about the Ninth Doctor?
I guess not. Are you guys confident that we covered what we needed to about Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor?
Well, I mean, we could talk for hours on this. I just want to keep it rolling.
Okay. Okay, so I guess we could talk about that. Yeah, I just finished watching Peter Capaldi's first season as Doctor Who. I had put it off for a while because I was told that it was kind of a couple of clunkery episodes that I'd have to get through. And it kind of was. There was some less memorable episodes, but it really picked up the pace after the Murder on the Orient Express episode. And I kind of just binge watched and cruised through the rest of the season. And I thought it was really good. I liked it. I don't know. What
you
do
saw up until when?
The last episode I saw was
Last Christmas.
Last Christmas.
Which is right before Series 9 started.
Danny Pink, R.I.P.
Yeah.
He had died, and she decided to go off with him, Peter Capaldi.
Well, it's the Santa episode.
Yeah. The Dream Crab episode where they like...
What was that one called? Was it called
Last Christmas?
Yeah. It had Nick Frost in it.
He played Santa, and there was reindeer.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the one where Danny Pink goes.
Oh, that's called Death in Heaven.
Yeah, that's one where Danny Pink becomes a Cyberman, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That was sad.
So brutal. That season, like I was telling you, V, it kind of starts off slow
it got
burn,
very dark,
and then it just picks up and goes, here you go. Yeah. We're not going to stop. We're going to go for the throat on this one. And they made Cybermen really visceral and evil. And of course, we have the debut of Missy, which, oh my God.
That was going to be my real question, is what did you think of Missy?
She was very extra, very over the top, and my current favorite iteration of the Master.
I can't wait for you to get
deeper in.
To get through Missy.
Yeah, I liked her version of the Master. It was definitely more bananas, if you will, than the original Master we saw.
Wasn't he John Sims? Wasn't that the actor?
The original,
Master?
Yeah.
The original Master.
Not the original Master, but
the
new season.
Series.
Yeah. The season 3 Martha Jones
Master.
Yeah, that was a weird episode, but yeah, I kind of felt like I saw it coming a little bit.
Yeah,
and I thought it was an interesting way to tie up all the unanswered questions about Clara.
How she even found the Doctor and how they kept getting put together.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a little disappointing in finding out that why her, and it was just because she was perfect for him. Like I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a letdown, but whatever.
There were some.
I still enjoyed it. It was a great episode.
Yeah, there were several really killer episodes at the back half of that season. You'd mentioned Murder on the Orient Express, of course. 66 seconds. Once you see the thing, it takes you.
Yeah,
and that was
that was such a weird episode. I really enjoyed it.
Was that in season 8 or was it?
It's an 8. Yep.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, we just watched it.
And then because the one right after that's Flatline. And that episode is gnarly.
That was weird.
Everybody keeps getting blinked into the walls and shit.
It was like a 2-dimensional creature from a 2-dimensional universe was trying to become 3-dimensional.
Oh yeah, wasn't that the one where the TARDIS got really small?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so adorable. It was so precious. And my favorite part of that episode was when he had to use his hand to crawl to move the TARDIS away from the train tracks.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Like the thing from Addams Family.
Yeah. That was super funny.
Yeah.
Did you just talk about a train and
I
a
did.
train horn?
Yeah,
just
we did.
went off?
There it is. Train of Our Existence.
Shows up in GallifRadio.
Every time.
Every
It's
week.
the song of our people.
I think you said that last week, too.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to say it because it's true.
It is true. It's ridiculous. Fucking trains. They're the worst. Another great episode is the Dark Water episode. That's the first part of the two-parter where Danny is dead. Spoiler alert.
How did he die?
He gets hit by a car.
Oh, yeah, that was such a fucking lame thing.
I know, and that's what she said. She's like, it's so ordinary.
Yeah, and I think that actually was kind of brilliant because it is ordinary. It's just like
because people do die every day.
Exactly, a ridiculous happenstance, and no one, and maybe no one is special or whatever. But then when you kind of learn the overarching plan that Missy has and everything, you kind of almost think she made sure he was hit by a car. Like it was
right.
It was way more
planned out because she was watching.
Predestined, absolutely.
Yeah, because the Cybermen invaded at the right exact moment for that to happen.
Yeah, that was all planned and premeditated. What I'm curious about, because I didn't really catch it when we were watching that episode, was what was she talking to him on the phone with right before he got hit by a car? Like she was trying to tell him something important.
She was trying to tell him what she had been doing with the doctor. Remember?
Oh, she was just fibbing to him on the phone?
No, she was trying to tell him the truth. She was trying to decide what to tell him, and she was going to tell him all the stories. And that was when he bit it. Yeah.
She never got to. That's why she keeps throughout
Tragic.
saying, I'm sorry,
Tragic.
I lied to you. Because it's like,
tragic.
She can't undo it.
Right, and we already have experienced an episode with the Turn Left episode where they try to stop a death from happening. Yeah. Remember that episode?
Yes, totally.
With it was her dad. She tried to get the...
Oh, that was Father's Day.
That was Father's Day.
Yeah, Turn Left was with Donna, which coincidentally enough actually did bring Rose Tyler back. That is the episode that Rose officially returned in that season.
Yeah.
So
maybe I'm getting them all confused. No. I've watched so much
Turn
of it.
Left Turn Left is the one where Donna is she trying to turn left, or she was going to turn right, but she had to turn left?
Yeah, but she starts off there at that bazaar, and they get that giant bug on her back.
Yeah, that makes her
was making her make a decision in a insignificant moment, but for Donna, because she's not insignificant, she's Dr. Donna,
right?
She makes any decision she changed.
Yeah,
the decision.
The Turn Left episode was really
she never met the doctor. And
I think about that concept a lot. Turning left,
that was
turning right.
Mind blowing for me at the time. That was my, it was life changing.
It was the Father's Day episode I was talking about where they tried to bring the dad or stop the dad from dying, and it totally fucked everything up.
And the time
that explains why he wouldn't do it for Clara.
Yeah. What episode was that? Wasn't that in the first season?
Yeah, back to the 9th Doctor retrospective. Yeah, Father's Day is when Rose goes and watches Pete Tyler get hit by the car. But she stops him.
She stops him, and then don't those things come?
Yeah, they feed on the paradox creatures, and they're stuck in the chapel at the wedding.
And the only way is for him to get hit by the car. And there's
he knows it. He does
Rose.
it. And
super sad.
Yeah,
man, they went for it. Savage.
Russell T. He was old school savage.
Super savage.
OG savage. But
that opens up a whole different parallel universe with Rose's alive dad.
No, that's different. And in season 2,
that's the rift
where
thing,
they
right?
end up in the void. The TARDIS gets knocked into the void, and when they come out of the void, they end up in an alternate dimension. The Doctor realizes he's in a different dimension, a dimension where Rose was never born.
Oh yeah,
but Pete Tyler is alive and a billionaire genius who created a bunch of ridiculous, as seen on TV things.
But it's played by the same actor.
Yep, absolutely, and it's so cleverly done. They definitely really go for that.
God, this show really is so good. It really is really good.
What did you? Interesting. One thing we do need to mention, and it's going to kind of tie into the next thing I'm going to bring up. There was a final goodbye for one legendary character at the end of Series 8.
I wanted to talk about the Brigadier, right?
Yes, the Brigadier returns to save
his daughter.
He saves Kate Lethbridge Stewart, right?
Catherine.
Kate Lethbridge Stewart. Lethbridge Stewart.
Kate,
she got sucked onto the plane during the Cyberman attack on the plane. And
then they never said what happened to her until after the episode was like basically concluded.
And she's just on the ground, and you're like, oh my God.
They see her in the cemetery, and they're like, why isn't she dead? And they realize that somebody had carried her there.
And it was one of the corpses turned Cybermen through the, what was that called? Like the cyber mist?
It was like the rain cloud was filled with pollen of Cyberman pollen, and when it rained it down into the ground, it would raise the dead, and they would be turned into Cybermen.
Because all it would do would just upgrade.
So we got to see the Brigadier as a Cyberman who
he had actually died that year, like early when they were filming that season. He had actually passed away. So that's
why they included that.
Absolutely,
because they did have Peter Capaldi saluting him, because the Brigadier always wanted to be saluted by the Doctor.
And we lost Osgood. I fucking love that character. The chick from the 50th. She had the scarf in the 50th, but the
bow tie.
She has the bow tie, the glasses.
Oh yeah, she got.
With
Missy
the
killed
inhaler,
her.
and Missy just fucking.
Yeah.
Gone forever. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Dun dun dun.
That was savage.
So overall, season 8. What would you give it? What would you say?
Like if I were to rate it out of 10?
Sure.
I would give it an 8. I would give it an 8 out of 10.
An 8 for season 8.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I would. I give it an 8 because I really am enjoying Peter Capaldi as the Doctor.
He's got his hooks in you.
Yeah, I'm totally on board. He's got me. I'm there for it.
I'm really excited for you to start season 9.
I love Clara too.
Yeah,
I think she's
fantastic.
an excellent companion. Like she's like what Rose was. He's met his match with her. You know,
she's just as witty as the Doctor and just as clever.
And yeah, exactly.
And she just can kind of put it all together.
And she's bubbly, and I appreciate that about her.
Yeah. Man, I think about the last Christmas with those alien face sucker creatures and the dreams that she's having with Danny, and like
that was sad.
The chalkboard keeps going, Clara, it's not real. You're dying. It's everywhere. Wake up. Oh.
That was creepy.
Ridiculous. Super creepy.
Clara's had some really creepy episodes. But we're going to talk about that when we do like our whole companion episode.
Oh, totally. We're going to get into her more deeply. But
I love her. She's one of my favorites.
Mine
absolutely.
too.
Clara's amazing.
She's the impossible girl.
Yes. And she's, technically speaking, interacted with every Doctor because she messed with the timeline to get him to Trenzalore in a weird, backwards-ass way. To save him, weirdly, also in a backwards-ass way. Anyways, I wanted to do a classic cut here, and this is a new segment. Since this is a new show, we're going to start debuting segments. You guys are probably going to hear, like, pew, 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 classic cut or some shit. I don't know how it'll go. It'll be just something like that or whatever. But I'm going to talk about a couple episodes from the classic seasons of Doctor Who. We watched them today. Well, at least I had them on with the intent of watching them. You guys were kind of in and out. Sarah got to there late. Lauren hasn't seen them, but we'll get you in on them, I promise. And this is going to be kind of my pitch without telling you everything. So Terror of the Autons is the first episode of the second season of the Third Doctor. So John Pertwee's second season. And John Pertwee is famously the first Doctor that was seen in color.
This was from 1971, right?
Correct. And then the year
he was
before,
one that was wearing the really cool. Wasn't he wearing like a really cool scarf?
No, that's 4.
That's 4.
He's got the puffy lapel here,
the velvet suit,
the velvet suit,
and the capes.
Freaking cape.
My God, the capes.
Drama.
And as I was mentioning last episode, his season is almost exclusively on Earth. Like everything happens on Earth. So this episode sets up the Autons, the Nestine consciousness, which they talk about in Rose with the Ninth Doctor. That's how he defeats them. He throws the anti-plastic into the Nestine consciousness and defeats the Autons. So that's set up back here, all the way back in the original season 8. You did have Jo Grant as the companion, which she's fantastic. It's her first episode.
Jo Grant, she was so adorable.
And she touches,
oh my God.
She touches something the Doctor's working on, and he goes, "You've ruined it, you ham-fisted bunvender." Like he just like snaps at her, and it's like the most ridiculous thing you could call a person.
It's very clear that he can't stand her, but he also thinks she's precious, like a little pet.
Yeah.
He called her a ham-fisted bun vendor.
Yeah.
Don't ask. I don't know what it actually means, but it's
probably a vendor of buns with big hands.
Oh.
Yeah,
probably
like somebody that would crush the
lower
buns.
class.
Yeah, like it's kind of like a
It's a British insult.
Oh.
Yeah, bull in a china shop would be like an analogous, insult or whatever, because she broke the thing that he was working on.
Mm-hmm.
The Master's in the Terror of the Autons with Roger Delgado as playing the Master, and
is that his first season?
I think
is that his first appearance?
Probably his second time being, because at that point I think he was already the third Master, maybe second or third. He was already pretty deep in there.
Oh, really? So from the very first season of Doctor Who on, there had been a Master?
Well, there had been a couple iterations. I think the Master first maybe appears in like the 4th season of the second Doctor or something, like season 4 or so.
Do you want me to look that up?
You could look it up. I'm not sure. Roger Delgado might have been the first Master. I might be wrong about that.
I'll fact check it.
But I feel like he was already implanted in the Doctor Who history. Of course, Daleks being the first villain. Interesting to note, in the Terror of the Autons, there's a scene where the Doctor is handling a bomb that he claims is as powerful as 15 megatons. He clearly, unintentionally breaks it in half. But back in the day in BBC, they were one shot and everything. You had to film fucking perfect on the first take. They didn't have money, budget to go back and re-edit shit. Just...
I will say, Terror of the Autons was the Master's first appearance.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow, I was wrong about that.
Yeah, if you look at the Master Doctor Who on Wikipedia, they have a picture, a collage picture of the Master in chronological order of their appearances, and he's the very first one. And it says first appearance, Terror of the Autons, 1971.
Oh, so I was incorrect about that.
So Roger Delgado was the first incarnation from 71 to 73.
So back to it. The Doctor has this 15 megaton bomb. You clearly see him snap it in half, and he starts to kind of laugh, and then he just tucks it in like the most gangster actor ever. He's just like, and everything's cool, and they just keep shot for shot going on. Like it was amazing. Overall, I think Terror of the Autons is a great place for someone to start with classic Who. Sarah, what do you think about Terror of the Autons?
Well, I think that it's a classic episode arc or whatever that you called them back then, because there's like 6 episodes or something in it.
It said 4 weekly
4
parts.
episodes.
What are Autons?
Plastic people.
It's a
plastic aliens.
A consciousness.
Yeah.
Really, the Nestine consciousness that controls plastic for whatever reason. I don't know why. They don't ever really explain that. That's just what it is.
So
old school sci-fi. You just accept it.
The mannequins in Rose, obviously, are those Autons, but they
kind of
that
was the throwback.
Is there a picture of the Autons that you could pull up for Lauren?
Sure.
Didn't Mickey get turned into an Auton?
Yeah.
Technically speaking, yeah, he was an Auton, absolutely.
But they kept him alive.
How did he
there was a plastic version of him.
Yeah.
It was a copy of him. So they kept him alive to keep the copy alive.
Yeah, because they were using him.
But then the copy melted.
And it's not Ricky. That happened later.
That was later.
That was much later. But the Autons, the classic-looking Autons, are kind of fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they
really
look like they're
big-headed, like with these straw hats on.
They look like they should be playing ragtime.
They look like they should be in that movie Frank.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
That big paper mache head.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a picture. Give me a second. I'm lost in the Terror of the Autons Wikipedia.
But yeah, the third Doctor seasons are really interesting because he doesn't have his sonic screwdriver either, because he's stuck on Earth. So it's all like battle of wits. Yeah, I like that. Terror of the Autons is good. I like that.
It was super. It just reminded me of Monty Python's Flying Circus, and everything.
And the Doctor and the Master are so extra.
Oh, they're super extra because they are arch enemies.
Yeah, just capes and mustaches.
And, the Brigadier's mustache.
Oh,
was pretty
the Brigadier's
classy.
mustache.
Pretty classy. Pretty classy.
Weird.
Yeah, those are the Autons.
Oh yeah, here we go. Did you already show her? Well, then never mind.
I just went to Google and searched Autons.
You know what else you told me about Terror of the Autons? What was her name? Who played Jo?
Oh, Jo Grant in 1977 did a nude photo shoot with a Dalek for Girls Illustrated.
It was so cute.
It's adorable.
It's adorable.
You don't really see anything. It's not like gross nudity or anything. It's very classily done.
But she got
It actually, nothing really came because she was already off the show at that point.
Yeah.
I further looked into it, and nothing came from it. But they asked John Pertwee, like, what do you think? And he went, that's Kathy. Like,
typical Kathy.
Typical Kathy. That's her. That's just the chick that plays Joe Grant. That's how she does.
It's so funny.
But it was with an actual original Dalek prop. So
it was it was really cute pictures.
They look pretty terrifying.
Yeah, they were
These
definitely.
Autons.
And they
look at this.
They still had the hand thing where their hand like hinged open and was actually a gun. That was one thing they kept from the classic series to the new series that was consistent, was the handgun thing that the Autons
Super
had.
cheesy.
But no.
Again, R.I.P. Clive.
You watch the whole like Terror of the Autons arc though, and it's well done, it's well put together. The Master has some cool stuff. It's got the Brigadier, so you get to have him interacting with the Third Doctor and learn about that relationship way deeper than, they didn't really get to utilize the Brigadier in the new series that much at all.
I do want to say it was really kind of fun finishing up, watching the Brigadier fly off as a Cyberman and then, explode or whatever.
Yeah.
And then today we watched his first appearance with, I guess it's not really his first appearance, but...
It was one of his earliest appearances.
It was my first,
exposure to
him.
Absolutely.
It was fun.
Yeah, I think it's great, Lauren. I think you'll really thoroughly enjoy Terror of the Autons.
It'll make a good night-night movie. That's for sure. My kid would probably like it.
Yes. Oh, Ollie would love that. That would be great. I have some Doctor Who news, you guys, and I'm going to bring it up. I don't know if the R&D department wants to get on their phones and start looking for this, but Hot Topic accidentally screwed up and released something early that should not have come out, and there is now pictures and a lot of information on what Jodie Whittaker's sonic screwdriver looks like and what it will do, because there is a toy of the sonic screwdriver, and Hot Topic already released it.
What will it do?
It's just different. When you see it, it looks totally different, and at the very top is a crystal. It's like whatever the sonic crystal that's inside the sonic screwdrivers, allegedly, but it actually spins. The actual crystal spins on the top. Like it's definitely a different.
What's the purpose of that?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Doctor Who, the 13th Doctor. It looks.
Uh oh. Say it. Let's talk about it.
It looks like a sex toy. It looks interesting.
No.
Lauren's like,
That is an interesting elbow. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Is that really
I like
what
the
they're
crystal,
going with?
I
Is
guess.
that what they're going with?
I guess so.
Well, he did say it had upgraded powers.
Okay.
It's different, Yeah.
How many watts? Upgraded.
Okay, this is pretty terrifying.
So what does it look like, guys? What are your thoughts?
Well, it's phallic and bent, and it has a crystal on top, and it's silver, so...
It's magnificent and extra.
It's a little extra. Yeah, it's a little extra.
I need to see it.
It looks like something from, like, the movie Alien.
I kind of think it looks like a Cyberman's, finger. That sounds bad. Jesus, I didn't mean for it to sound bad, but it does look like a Cyberman's finger. It also looks like the sonic screwdriver just got the shit kicked out of it, maybe.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand,
I don't know.
Ooh, and
why
you
it
hold
lights
it
up.
that way.
Oh, yeah,
It lights up orange.
Is it two-piece? What's
Check it
the
out, Lauren.
handle? Is it held like a little semi-cocked
So
gun?
strange.
What is it?
Here's an example of someone holding it, if it'll load at all. That's kind of how it's going to be held, like a pen.
So it's like ergonomic?
Yeah, maybe it's an ergonomic screwdriver.
I don't know. I've never seen a handle bent like that.
Well, I guess we'll just have to see it in action.
We're already
guess
critical,
what?
guys.
We can see it in action because there's a YouTube video of somebody who has it.
Oh,
so we're gonna.
let's see. Somebody's.
I'm just gonna turn down their audio.
We can just look at it. Yeah, that's fine.
Because I don't need. Can y'all
Yeah,
see it?
it just seems like unwieldy and like it's a poor design. Like she's gonna drop it.
I don't know. I think the crystal looks cool. I think it.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
It makes it look more like mystical.
I like that it's yellow, different color. You know.
It was yellow in the picture.
It lights up yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
The crystal
I don't think
is
this
yellow.
woman has turned it on yet. Oh yeah, there she goes. See.
Oh.
See, and it kind of has like a flicker, like the crystal is burning or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she has to remake all of her shit.
Oh look, see it even in the it rotates. It rotates.
This is so weird.
What the fuck is that?
Ergonomically designed for a woman.
The sonic screw you driver.
Yeah, for her pleasure.
Oh my god. Okay, so
Sorry, new doctor.
Sorry, new doctor.
Sorry, we made fun of it.
So that's the new Dr. Sonic Screwdriver. It's already out. I guess BBC America or BBC Shops also released it. Like, well, shit, I guess it's out. Might as well just let it be out now.
Whoa.
Also want to talk about the news. There is a rumored release day, as there was a newspaper clipping, and on September 23rd, which would be September 22nd here, Doctor Who will be premiering.
Really?
So it's coming soon. We're about 3 weeks away here.
That's
3
exciting.
weeks.
Yeah, I mean it's right around the corner here. But
Is that going to be enough time for me to binge watch and catch up?
Gosh darn right, because you're going to blow through season 9 so fast.
Yeah, you've been telling me it's good.
I mean, like we were saying last week, almost every episode is a two-parter. So they just go boom,
They
boom,
hook ya.
boom, boom, boom.
So once you start it, you kind of
The
have to
first
get
episode,
into
it deals with the Daleks very heavily.
Oh yeah, it goes in there,
and it's a two-parter,
and it's epic. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. I can't wait to discuss it. I will say that some TARDIS pictures from Jodie Whittaker's TARDIS did leak recently.
Mm-hmm.
BBC is furious about this. Thing is, they don't look that good because it's a low quality picture, not lit for pictures to be taken, not planned. The scene is a low lighting scene. They're going to be adding effects or whatever, so it looks
It's
shitty.
not the best
and
picture
people are
of
just
it.
going, "Oh, it looks kind of like shit." Like, I'm not really excited now. And BBC's like. They feel, and a lot of fans are talking about this online,
because this was leaked and not released.
Not publicly released. They've
Right.
not officially released very much for this Series 11, you know? And a lot of fans are kind of starting to feel internally that this is calling back to when they rebooted the series in 2005. Mm-hmm. Everything's very quiet. They're not
Tight-lipped.
letting people on set for anything. You're not supposed to know anything. They're not letting every actor see the script.
Is that because Stephen Moffat's no longer there, or is it just because Jodie Whittaker's
I'm thinking
the
because
lead?
Chris Chibnall really wants it to be rebooted and
Be different.
fresh.
It is. They even got rid of the composer.
Yeah, I mean, they've changed. Murray
Wow.
Gold is gone.
Yeah.
They've got a new composer. Like, they've got across the board new everything. Chris Chibnall has hired all new crew, new special effects team working. Like, it's going to be very interesting to see what they put off, especially with the teasers they have released.
Has their budget changed?
That I'm totally uncertain. I couldn't actually tell you. I would guess they probably got more money, you know, especially considering Jodie Whittaker demand she got the exact, to the penny, same pay as Peter Capaldi. And they agreed, and they gave it to her.
Wow.
So, and that was pretty historic in the movement for women's rights and stuff.
Well,
So
if
must
she
be-
would
so
have
they must
gotten
be-
any less,
They must be
she
planning on
wouldn't
these
have
episodes
fucking
to
done
do
it.
pretty fucking well.
What's up?
So they must be planning on these episodes to do pretty well.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm certain they're probably going to do pretty well. And it's interesting because this is a cast with 3 members of the TARDIS crew that are not the Doctor now.
I feel like they're taking a lot of risks.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I think they're going to pay off. I think this is. I mean, Chris Chibnall has been a part of Doctor Who for a while, and I think he was really.
When does it officially start?
Well, and they haven't announced. That's what I was saying. The conjecture is
September
no one knows, but that one actual newspaper that had it in their like TV guide, September 23rd is the date. It said new Doctor Who. What's new? The Doctor is now Jodie Whittaker. Join her on her new adventure or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it was like a little brief synopsis, September 23rd. So seemingly right around the corner. I had actually had conjecture and thought probably October 6th would be the drop date. But it makes sense for it to be the 23rd as well. Mm-hmm. A couple weeks early there.
I'm glad that I finished watching the 8th season of Capaldi's because I got to see the Master as a woman, which was interesting. Like when she kissed him, and you know, I was just like really excited to see what Jodie Whittaker is going to do as the Doctor. You know,
Yeah.
if that's what we got for the Master.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool. I'm excited.
Have you got around to Attack the Block yet?
Mm-mm.
It's okay. I know you will eventually, and you're gonna love it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love that.
It's a great ride. Definitely a fun movie to like kind of get lost in. As far as, new Doctor Who news, I don't really have a lot more in that regard.
Other than it's coming.
It's coming real soon. We're going to do a random wiki effect like I did on the last episode here. Do you want to fill some space and talk about other things for just a brief second? Doctor Who related, maybe talk some more Torchwood, whatever you guys want to do while I look this up.
Okay.
I guess we never really got to talk about... That's what I was going to talk about, and then he changed the subject. We were going to talk about the relationship aspect of Doctor Who and his companions, and how the casting is totally changes the chemistry with the companions. And like you had said, it doesn't make sense for an older Doctor to be like coming on to like a younger sexy companion or whatever. Like,
right.
Could you imagine Peter Capaldi and like Rose interacting or something?
No, but I mean, he still flirts.
Yeah.
He still gets like, jealous of Danny.
Right. Even though he's like constantly saying, I'm not your boyfriend, Clara.
I'm not your boyfriend, Clara.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were never meant to have like a romantic.
No,
none of them.
Classic
were.
Who was not like that
Right.
either. Like
he thought that the companions were like his pets.
And I think Capaldi sees Clara more as a student. Like, she's intelligent enough to take on some Time Lord-esque knowledge, and he can impart it.
I don't think he sees her as a student. I think he sees her as more of like a companion, like a straight up partner, like a straight up equal almost,
like a River Song almost,
like a River Song, totally.
Okay, I can totally vibe that. Absolutely.
Ugh, River Song. I can't wait to see her again.
Too. Oh yeah, she's coming soon. I gave you the spoiler on that.
You did. I'm excited about that.
By the way, I totally forgot to mention that Joe Grant. We talked about this on the last episode. There was the Death of the Doctor episode in Sarah Jane Adventures that had Sarah Jane, Joe Grant, and the 11th Doctor. So I forgot that Joe was also a part of that. So that was SJS also interacting. But anyways, that's a little tangent. We'll not go there. I have our random Wikia. Chinese checkers. What? Chinese checkers was a board game which the 8th Doctor played with a small child in a bright red jumper. It included a garnish yellow card, tokens in several colors. That's all it says. That's our little random fact.
A random Doctor Who fact.
And that's interesting.
That is very random.
I think our plan is, if we can pull this off, we're going to be watching the 8th Doctor movie, and hopefully by next episode reviewing it, because we're going to watch it and then loan it to you, and you're going to watch it, or you can watch it with us, and then you're going to be like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Why is it that bad?
It's weird.
Bad.
It's totally different. It's strange.
It's real bad.
Like the Doctor has
it's not what you want.
Amnesia.
Especially because there have been like 2-part episodes of Doctor Who that have probably rivaled in its length, but have gone into much more detail and probably much better everything.
This will feel longer.
It will
feel much longer.
That's unfortunate.
It does feature 2 Doctors because Sylvester McCoy as the 7th Doctor is briefly featured. He gets shot in an alley,
Don't give it away.
No, that's the only thing you need to know because you're getting the 8th Doctor. I mean, it's the 2 seconds into the movie he gets shot, and then the new Doctor regenerates, and then that's the movie. Like, this is a new Doctor. You have no idea what he knows.
Someone shoots and kills the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Like who?
Just spoilers.
I can't tell you.
I know. What is he doing?
You guys won't. It won't make a difference in watching it. It really
fine.
won't.
We'll watch it.
Says you.
It really won't make a difference because it's the first thing that happens.
Who shoots the Doctor? Who kills him?
I can't say.
Why?
Spoilers.
Because that would actually be a spoiler. Like, that would change the dynamic. I don't want you to know.
Well, now you're going to have to watch it. Do you want to borrow it and watch it
now
before
she's
we do?
Intrigued.
She's
she
like,
has
no.
to know.
Also, the Master does become a liquid snake thing.
Yeah, he's liquid. We don't know why.
This is strange.
It's unbelievably strange.
What year did this come out?
To go there.
1996.
Yeah, it's 1996 strange.
So it's
Does it look shitty like a 90s
Oh.
movie? Oh, I can't wait.
Oh yeah,
That's exciting.
It's all kinds of bad.
Great.
We'll watch it tonight. I don't care.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We watched a lot of
Master is
Doctor Who
liquid
today.
snake.
Correct.
Not all the time. Just in some parts of the movie.
I'm not sure that they explain it. I don't remember. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you because spoilers.
That was very well said, yeah. No spoilers.
But yeah, it's really weird. On a weird Doctor Who wavelength.
So
I don't understand.
hopefully next episode our plan is to actually review that and talk about the Doctor Who movie, the Eighth Doctor.
There's a spider that just came down. I just landed on the top of a microphone. Just like a very little clear spider.
Oh, Nate got him.
Oh. Nate's the spider hunter.
Oh, God. That was terrifying.
Spider hunter
I'm
extraordinaire.
so sorry. This house, it's because it's all like humid out today, you guys. It was like 90
so
and
hot
muggy
today. Oh
when
my
I
God.
walked out to my car this morning, my phone fogged up along with my glasses. When I walked outside, not when I got in my car, I walked out the door. I'm like, oh my God, this is a weird day.
That's not cool.
Super muggy.
Yeah.
It sucks because like 2 days ago it was perfect, beautiful, breezy, chilly weather. I had a sweater on. It was
it was like
magnificent.
almost fall, and now it's like angry summer again.
And now it's like gross, melty summer.
Blech.
Melt your fucking face off summer.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week's episode of GallifRadio.
We all have our homework assignments for next time.
Got some stuff we're going to be doing. We're going to try to get you caught up to Doctor Who, which means that you're going to also be catching up to Doctor Who, hopefully, working into
Lauren.
season 10.
How can I watch that?
You have season 10 on Amazon Prime, right?
I do, yeah. So, should I watch that or should I watch like some old episodes first?
Ooh. Well, I mean,
wait.
you have time.
Just wait. She needs to watch some old stuff first because I need to catch up. I'm
Yes.
still like a season behind where she's at, right?
Absolutely.
So once I catch up, maybe we can simultaneously be watching it and then we can talk about it.
Okay.
Cool. I love that.
So I would recommend watching some old
How do I
Who.
watch old Who?
I'll get you links. I'll find a way to get it to you one way or another. I'll put it on a hard drive somehow. I'll get you Doctor Who. Don't you worry about it.
Well, we found it for free on a website today, but I can't remember what the website was.
Yeah. I just searched Terror of the Autons, and it was like the third thing that came up. It auto-played every episode for me. It was really nice.
Yeah, for free. You have to download anything.
So, yeah, I'll get that link to you so you can have an opportunity to watch it as well. Because that'd be a great start. Watch Terror of the Autons. Give me your opinions. If you hate it, cool. If you love it, excellent.
That would
I think
be a
you'll
fun
like
one
it.
for her to start
Totally.
with Classic Who.
Because it
that
kind of
arc.
Yeah, it ties a little bit of everything in together.
Yeah,
Totally.
that would be good. Terror of the Autons.
Terror of the Autons, okay.
And the Doctor is so like extra and flamboyant. It's like he would be like if Austin Powers was more serious.
Dashing.
Totally.
He's very dashing.
Yes.
Very dashing.
And
his son
brave.
would be perfect to be the Doctor Who at some
I've
point.
always said so.
There's
You're
a scene.
totally right.
Quickly, one last thing to mention. There's a scene in Terror of the Autons where Joe Grant and the Doctor jump out of a moving vehicle, and Katie Manning, who played Joe Grant, actually got hurt on that scene. So instead of like ending the shoot and going, okay, well, we've got to wait till she's healed or whatever, they wrote in an additional like 2-second scene where she rolls her ankle so she can then be hurt the rest of the episode because she got hurt.
Yeah, she hurt her ankle.
Because she did her own stunt. Legit.
So they rewrote a whole scene.
They just added a little scene. It's like
It was
literally
like
like 3 seconds. She's walking towards this curb and she goes, ow, my ankle, and falls.
But
And
they
then-
had to put that in because she got hurt.
So then
It
they
wasn't in the
didn't
script.
have to explain the limp the rest of the things they filmed because she had a limp because she hurt her ankle.
Okay, so they literally just kept it in there?
Yeah. They just were like, just use it. Whatever. It's cool. We'll go with it.
They couldn't really afford to like
reshoot or wait.
everything. Yeah. So they're just like,
I was
well,
saying earlier, it was one shots. They did it on one take as best they can, and that's what they got. So,
that's why we don't have a lot of early Doctor Who. It's because they would just tape over it.
yeah, because it
Just
wasn't
reuse.
Well, that's
stuff.
that's a different subject for a different time. We'll talk
Yeah.
about the archives and how they were destroyed and some of the things that have been on to restore Doctor Who on another episode of GallifRadio. But before we leave there, you guys can check out this show on the Journey into Comics network at journeyintocomics.com. Get us on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, and Spotify. Just search Journey into Comics Network. You'll get all the 10 shows on our network, one coming out every day of the week. Go to patreon.com/Journey into Comics. Give us $1, get early access and exclusive content. And there are now new tiers that give you more new things. So just go there. You can get like a sticker tier. There's a learn to podcasting tier. There's a t-shirt tier. There's a fuck ton of tiers.
Got some pretty funny T-shirts.
Yeah, we do. The
I like
Rolo,
Podcastrophes shirts.
Rolo the Destroyer.
I like the Heritage one.
Heritage. We got a Bruise with Babe shirt now. Did you see that?
No.
You
I
did?
haven't seen it yet.
I sent you a link.
You did?
Yeah, it's in your messenger. You'll check it at some point.
Okay.
Yeah. It's awesome. I made it. I designed it for you. It looks pretty cool. That way all the shows were represented. GallifRadio has their own shirt. You can go to teespring.com/stores/Journey into Comics Network store. It's a long one, I know. That's how they made it, not me. And that's where you can get all kinds of different shirts from the network, whether it's Journey into Comics, Poor Rapport, Wrestling.
Foodies Watching Movies.
Foodies Watching Movies. Coming back soon. A little over a month left here. But I think that's going to do it this week for GallifRadio. Throughout time and space, I've been Nate.
Sarah.
And Veronica.
Lauren.
And we will see you guys next time. Later.